Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. Tonight, we're diving into perhaps the most tantalizing rumor swirling around Los Angeles this offseason. The Lakers are on. The hunt for a true center to anchor their front court, and two names have surged to the top of the chatter: Daniel Gafford of the Dallas Mavericks and Nick Claxton of the Brooklyn Nets. Could one of these rim-running shot blockers be the missing piece to pair alongside Luka Doncic and LeBron James? Stick around, because what we're about to explore could reshape the dynasty's championship window. With the season ending in disappointing fashion, another first-round exit and clear evidence that lack of size cost them every time the paint became a battlefield, the front office has identified upgrading the center position as their top priority. Whether by trade, free agency, or even a surprise draft maneuver, adding legitimate size and athleticism is non-negotiable for a roster built around two generational talents. Imagine a Lakers lineup where opposing big men hesitate to sniff. The rim, where every pick and roll becomes a fast break opportunity. That's the vision fueling these rumors. First, let's dissect the Gafford connection. Daniel Gafford, a former second-round steal, has thrived as both a finisher and protector since Dallas traded for him at last season's deadline. We've seen him finish alley-oop feeds with thunderous dunks, challenge every interior shot, with a 7'5" wingspan, and even show glimpses of face-up scoring in pick-and-pop actions. Crucially, he already knows Luka. Having shared the floor in Dallas, he understands Doncic's tempo. The head fake before the dash to the rim, the timing of those skip passes that carve defenses open. Could this existing chemistry make Gafford the most seamless big man addition in Lakers history? On the contract side, Gafford has just 1 year remaining at a manageable $14.3 million cap hit. That flexibility could entice Rob Pelinka to swing, a mid-level asset, perhaps sending an expiring deal like Cam Reddish and a protected second-rounder to Dallas. Yet, there's a potential snag. Would the Mavericks be willing to trade another front-court piece so quickly after the Luka deal? It's a fair question. Mark Cuban, famously shrewd in asset management, might balk at giving Gafford for less than prime draft capital. But Lakers fans have to wonder, if the front office sweetens the pot, adding a future first-round pick or flipping an additional young rotational player, could Dallas bite? Then there's Nick Claxton, the Brooklyn Nets' rising defensive anchor. Claxton's game is tailor-made for today's positionless era. He can switch onto guards, hedge pick-and-rolls with ferocity, and sprint the floor in transition. Last season, Claxton led the Nets in blocks per 36 minutes, and his motion off-ball screens set screens that freed shooters. Unlike Gafford, Claxton is under contract for 3 more seasons, with salaries decreasing each year, $25.3 million in 26, then $23.1 million and $20.9 million. Stability matters when building around superstars. His multi-year deal offers insurance, whereas Gafford's single season could leave the Lakers scrambling next summer. But what would Brooklyn demand? Claxton's a coveted piece for James Harden's future pairing or Kevin Durant's next run. The Nets could ask for multiple first-rounders, maybe 2026 and 2028 picks, or a package including a young wing like Dalton Knecht plus a draft swap. Lakers fans are already speculating. Could they offer Monk plus Knecht and a protected first? Or perhaps send a salary match in Rui Hachimura plus a pair of second-round picks. The price might be steep, but if Claxton transforms the Lakers into a defensive juggernaut, the investment could pay dividends in playoff seeding and championship runs. Of course, these two names dominate the early chatter, but the rumor mill also mentions Jakob Poeltl of the Toronto Raptors as a potential fallback. Poeltl, a savvy screen setter and lob finisher with a polished game, could be available if Toronto and he can't agree on an extension. His reliability in pick-and-roll defense and his ability to stick in the mid-range give him a different package of skills. Yet Poeltl's contract situation, he's under team control at a reasonable rate, means the Raptors could ask for a haul similar to Claxton. The Lakers would have to weigh whether Poeltl's quieter rim game and lack of explosive finishing outweigh his financial and availability upside. So, how might the Lakers approach this decision? A trade for one of these centers would likely consume most of their mid-level assets, expiring veterans, draft picks, or young rotation players. They would need to balance the urgency of winning now with the risk of mortgaging their future. Depth. Could they pull off a coup by signing one in free agency? Unlikely, given the scarcity of elite rim protectors in the open market this summer. Could they find a diamond in the rough overseas or in the G League? It's possible, but the jump to playoff intensity is steep. Let's play What If. What if the Lakers land Gafford, rotate him alongside Anthony Davis, and suddenly the double big sets become lethal lob factories? Lakers boasted one of the highest hockey assist rates in the West whenever they deployed a second rim runner. Imagine that with Luka's vision and LeBron's post feeds. Or what if they swing a blockbuster for Claxton, finally having a defensive stalwart who can head off switches and eliminate weak side dunks? The ripple effect on the identity of this team would be dramatic. Fewer blowout losses to powerhouse, big men, more contention for an interior rebounding crown, and a front line that can intimidate any opposing center. And could the pursuit of Poeltl be a clever ploy, leveraging interest to drive down the price for Claxton or Gafford? Sources whisper that Pelinka might engage in a three-team conversation, dangling the Poeltl option to push Dallas or Brooklyn into negotiations. If that happens, the Lakers could call all the shots, forcing other teams to choose between one center or another, and in doing so, maximize the return on their trade assets. As these rumors swirl, we can't ignore the impact on roster morale. If votes are cast publicly, we're building a defensive beast around AD and Luka, the chemistry in the locker room could soar, unifying role players around a clear identity. Or it could backfire, breeding discontent among tradable young pieces worried about their future in purple and gold. Communication from the front office and coaching staff will be essential to maintain buy-in and avoid locker room fractures. Now, consider the alternatives. Instead of trading, the Lakers could stash a raw prospect like Derek Lively II overseas or grab a European rim threat in the draft. That path is a gamble on potential, requiring patience. Would fans accept a long soak on a project big man, betting on a 2027 payoff? Or do they demand immediate impact? The urgency is clear. With LeBron aging and Luka in his prime, the championship window is narrow. Every move counts. As Lakers fans, our hearts are torn between hope and caution. We desperately want that final piece to ascend the Western Conference and challenge the juggernauts. Yet we know from history that chasing splashy trades can leave a roster shallow. So, should Los Angeles go all in on Gafford, Claxton, or Poeltl? Could the perfect answer lie somewhere between? Perhaps a small ball lineup with Rui Hachimura at the 5, bolstered by versatile wings. Or is that tinkering too timid? Whatever happens, one thing is certain. This storyline will dominate the headlines and ignite passionate debate across fan forums. The Lakers' front office must navigate these choppy waters with precision, balancing immediate need with long-term vision. And as we watch every rumor, every agent quote, and every GM whisper, remember, speculation can become reality in the blink of an off-season. In our next segment, we'll break down the pros and cons of each target, simulate potential trade packages, and reveal which move could catapult the Lakers back into championship contention. Until then, Lakers News Fan Report will be your home for all the rumors, analyses, and fan reactions you crave. Stay tuned. If you're just as fired up to see which center the Lakers land and what it means for our title aspirations, hit that like button, subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and turn on notifications right now, because this next chapter could define our franchise's next era. Let's pick up where we left off. diving even deeper into the tantalizing possibilities and potential fallout of acquiring a true center like Daniel Gafford, Nick Claxton, or Jacob Poeltl. We've laid out the groundwork, the front court deficiencies, the tantalizing skill sets of these big men, and the draft capital or young pieces LA could deploy. Now, let's explore how each scenario might play out on the court, what it means for roster construction, and my personal take as a die-hard Lakers fan who wants nothing but the best for this storied franchise. Picture this. It's opening night of the 2025-26 season at Crypto.com Arena. The lights dim, and the camera pans to LeBron James and Luka Doncic warming up next to their new teammate, whichever center the Lakers ultimately signed. The crowd roars at the introduction of number 21, Daniel Gafford. Suddenly, all those questions vanish. On the first possession, with Luka orchestrating from the high post, Gafford sprints into the paint for an alley-oop finish that sends the bench into a frenzy. The synergy is instantaneous. Every pick-and-roll clash with opposing bigs ends in Gafford either rejecting the shot or igniting a fast break. That on-the-court chemistry isn't hypothetical. It's exactly what this roster has needed for years. Now, let's rewind to the negotiation table. Suppose the Lakers struck a deal with Dallas. They send Cam Reddish and a protected 2026 first-round pick for Gafford. The immediate reaction from pundits is steep price, but in my view, it's an investment in two generations of Lakers basketball. Gafford's one-year contract gives the Lakers a trial run, one season to evaluate if he can handle the physical toll alongside LeBron and Luka. If it clicks, the front office can hammer out an extension. If it fractures, they've only paid 1 year and walk away with assets intact. It's risk-managed acquisition. Fast forward to February's trade deadline. Gafford's emergence as a defensive anchor paid immediate dividends. The Lakers boast top 5 defensive ratings in the league, with opponents shooting under 45% at the rim when Gafford patrols the paint. Suddenly, the league sees the Lakers as a two-way powerhouse, and titles are no longer a dream, but an expectation. The narrative shifts. No longer do we fear the pick-and-roll, because Gafford's interior presence neutralizes it. Alternatively, imagine the Lakers landing Nick Claxton from Brooklyn. They trade Rui Hachimura, a swap of 2028 first-rounders, and Dalton Knecht for Claxton's remaining 3-year contract. Critics howl about the number of picks surrendered, but when Claxton's wingspan erases every drive and his rim runs open transition lanes for Doncic's gravity, it's clear the price is worth it. In one late-season contest against Denver, Claxton's 2 blocks on Nikola Jokic in the final 30 seconds secure a thrilling 105-104 victory, swinging home court advantage in the playoffs. That single game cements his sacrifice as essential. From a salary cap perspective, Claxton's declining cap hit over 3 seasons seamlessly dovetails with the Lakers' long-term plan. Offload aging vets, maintain flexibility for a third max contract, and build the bench with mid-level exceptions. His contract structure means by the time LeBron's prime wanes and Doncic ascends, the Lakers will still control their interior anchor without crippling luxury tax penalties. Now, consider Jacob Poeltl in Toronto. The Lakers watch the Raptors dither on his extension and pounce, trading Max Christie and a future pick swap for Poeltl's rights. His polished screening, pick-and-pop accuracy, and elite box-out fundamentals deliver a different flavor. In late season, play against Phoenix, Poeltl hits 5 free throws in the final minute after drawing contact on a roll, icing a comeback win. His veteran savvy in crunch time becomes the blueprint for how the Lakers close out games down the stretch. The decision isn't just strategic, it's cultural. A player like Gafford, Claxton, or Poeltl joining the Lakers' locker room reshapes the team identity. Imagine the daily practice sessions. LeBron demanding contact at the rim, Luka fiddling with timing on bounce lobs, and that new big man constantly rotating, communicating, and setting screens to perfection. Young wings like D'Angelo Russell and Cam Reddish absorbed that high IQ basketball education, evolving the entire roster. As a lifelong Lakers supporter, I see the front office at a crossroads. Chase the big splash in free agency for a mid-range center, or go all in on a proven rim protector who can alter shots nightly. My heart roots for the bold move, the Gafford trade, the Claxton blockbuster, or the Poeltl swoop. In this moment, you don't hedge with a clipboard, you strike with conviction. The golden eras of Magic and Kareem, Shaq and Kobe all began with bold roster pivots. It's our turn, but there's also the possibility of internal development, unleashing Mo Bamba on a max rookie scale or drafting a raw center overseas with high upside. That route appeals as a cost-controlled approach, but we've seen how long it takes for a project big man to handle playoff physicality. This is our championship window, not a development tank season. With LeBron entering his 22nd year and Doncic peaking, the Lakers must seize the moment. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on these blockbuster rumors. Remember, in LA, we don't just chase championships, we demand them. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and until next time, go Lakers.